Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. But who is he? Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. And who is he? Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. And what he do? And it's gonna react to all the self-snitching.
Hi, this is Bruce Rivers. Welcome to another episode of Criminal Lawyer Reacts. I'm Bruce Rivers, board-certified criminal defense lawyer. Today we're reacting to the trials about to begin for Young Thug. And we'll see where the status is of things and where things are at. But before we get to that, remember, this, as all episodes, are brought to you by eForms.com. eForms.com. If you need a legal form for whatever purpose, power of attorney, bill of sale, maybe you need a rental agreement, anything you need, go to eForms.com. They have most legal forms. Doesn't matter what state you're from. Go to eForms.com. They've got you covered. The prosecution is about to start their case in the prosecution of Young Thug. And there are 6 people, it looks like, that are going to go to trial. That may get less if anybody else takes a deal either just before trial or during the trial. But Young Thug was seen in court going through a range of emotions the other day. So let's just talk a little bit about jury selection. This is a high-profile case. And it's a high-profile, complicated case. It's a RICO case. They've got to prove that there was an organization and crimes that were committed for the benefit of that organization. Now, we're going to react to a plea that was just taken against Thug here.
Mr. Stevens, if you could please state your true and correct legal name.
Trontavious Stevens.
And are you the same person referred to as Trontavious Stevens, also known as Tick and also known as Slug, on indictment 22 SC 183572?
Yes.
Do you also acknowledge that you were one of the founding members of Young Slime Life?
Yes.
You acknowledge that you are the same person referred to as Tick in the song by Young Thug entitled You, in the verse She Getting Robbed by Tick?
Yes.
You also acknowledge that on February 4th, 2021, you participated in a group chat with fellow YSL founder Jeffrey Williams, aka Young Thug, and YSL associates Wooney Lee, aka Slime Life Shorty, wherein Jeffrey Williams stated, "YSL rule the world, kid. Y'all just start bringing me the money. Man, y'all stop playing with me." Do you acknowledge that?
Yes.
Do you acknowledge that on May 13, 2021, you participated in another group chat with fellow YSL founder Jeffrey Williams, aka Young Thug, and YSL associates Martinez Arnold, Miles Farley, Quantavious Greer, Antonio Sumlin, Wooney Lee, wherein Jeffrey Williams asked, "Y'all ain't beat him up or shot him yet?" Then states, "Y'all getting soft."
Yes.
Do you acknowledge that the gas station at 151 Cleveland Avenue is a location where YSL associates sell drugs?
Yes.
That also the gas station at 221 Cleveland Avenue is a location where YSL associates sell drugs?
Yes.
So the whole purpose of, first of all, the whole purpose of a plea, which was what that was, is to, number one, you waive your rights. Number two, you tell the facts of the crime. And one of the things that Gunna did and that Slug or Tick did here is they're admitting on the record not only that YSL is an organization, but that they also were committing crimes in conjunction with each other and for the benefit of the organization. Now, a lot has been talked about regarding Gunna and I'm not a snitch, I'm not going to snitch, blah, blah, blah. But he admitted to some crimes. He can no longer claim the Fifth Amendment. So the government could compel him to testify. He could say, I'm not going to do it anyway, and he could suffer, contempt of court citation, and that wouldn't be that severe, I suppose. But they could compel him to testify. And that means he could have to stay in jail until he testifies. So 8 so far have taken plea deals, and 6 others will stand trial at another time. Not with this one. Now, the defense lawyer for Thug says that YSL is simply a record label. Meanwhile, the gang members for YSL have been blamed for crimes in Atlanta. Quite a few of these YSL associates have taken deals just before Christmas, including Gunna, and you know that Gunna was released from jail. Young Thug's brother, Quantavious Greer, as part of his probation, he must not have any contact with Young Thug, who's been denied bail. You know he's sitting in jail. Contact with any of the other co-defendants. One of the things you saw in this video was them specifically referencing Tick in a robbery, in a song. Now, I've successfully litigated this stuff about not using somebody's rap lyrics in their trial. However, if the rap lyrics are specifically mentioning a crime, and in the lyrics that the prosecutor just talked about in that last clip, she getting robbed by Tick, I would be shocked if that's not used in court, because if they can point to a specific crime and Thug is mentioning that specific crime in the lyrics and they can tie it up, then that comes in as evidence because it's a statement of a party opponent. So the other thing is, so there's an alleged YSL member, Antonio Sledge. He's 41 years old and claims that YSL associates killed Donovan Thomas in 2015. That 2015 homicide is another part of this prosecution. And those involved in that crime reportedly went to Young Thug's home right after the killing, where they gave Sledge and others YSL associates money to lay low right after. And Sledge took a deal and admitted to a lot of this. 2 other defendants were offered plea deals but then rejected them. Now here's the thing. If Thug is convicted of the homicide portion of this prosecution, he's looking at life. And I don't believe it's life without parole. I believe it's parole after 30 years. If he's convicted of only the RICO stuff, he's looking at a maximum of 20 years. That's the statutory max. So we'll continue to follow this. You know, Thug is, you can tell he's sweating this in court because he was seen in court showing a real range of emotions. So we'll continue to follow this prosecution, but just so you know, a lot of these guys who have taken deals can be called to testify. They can be compelled to testify because they have no longer a Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination. So the only way they don't testify against Thug is if they are held in contempt, in which case they'll be held in jail until they either plead guilty or until they either testify or the trial gets over, one of the two. So we'll see you next time here on Criminal Lawyer Reacts. I'm Bruce Rivers. Make sure you subscribe, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Patreon, and we'll see you next time here on Criminal Lawyer Reacts.
Just broke down your case. He know all the charges that you about to face. You ain't coming home till 2058. That self-snitching gon' get you put away. Bruce Rivers just broke down your case. He know all the charges that you about to face. You ain't coming home till 2058. That self-snitching gon' get you put away. 23-hour lockdown, please just at my God.